We told you about the Runaway Bay apartments experiencing chaos and trespassing on their property. Now, this condo unit on the east side of Columbus experiencing the exact same thing. They reached out to us for help.
I know that some people already left. They're going to leave this area because it's not safe anymore.
Crews replacing the stairs near the pool at McNaughton Commons condos after trespassers at a massive pop-up party wrecked the property. Waksiem Najiri lives right next to the pool and says this past Tuesday was the biggest party yet.
I don't know why the managers of the property here let this happen.
Pop-up parties are becoming notorious in Columbus. Hundreds of uninvited guests overwhelm property amenities, making themselves right at home.
All the people are not living here, the invaders.
Ludmila Smirnov says she's tired of the loud music, drug use, and parking lot disorder. She's turning to the property management after police said they're limited in what they can do.
It's not safe anymore. Who knows, maybe they have guns or whatever. They're teenagers. They're not mature people.
McNaughton Commons are owned by Onyx Realty. They tell us trespassers climb the pool house roof to get to the pool. Word is often spread on social media about these parties.
The managers of the property need to devise ways and means of really handling this issue.
We spoke with another renter wanting to stay anonymous at Runaway Bay. He's moving out next month for fear of his own safety and well-being.
They need to have a security company here. I'm scared. I hear a noise and I'm scared.
I tried to speak with Runaway Bay management yet again, but to no avail. People at these properties say they just want a peaceful place to live, but their current living situation is anything but.
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, as we approach July 4th weekend, we find ourselves in the throes of summer. The temperature is cranking up. We just got over a historic heat wave on the East Coast. And down there in the Midwest, people find themselves just cooking. And y'all know it gets hot in the hood sometimes. And what do we have here with this story? We got some people who I would imagine live around about Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, because I've done my homework and I've discovered that anywhere you go in America, when you come across Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, you on a certain side of town. Now, for some people, that might be the right side of town. It might be what you're looking for. But for a lot of people, they would call that the wrong side of town. But the hood, if you know anything about it, it gets hotter than anywhere else in the city. And the people who live there who are already struggling with so many other issues, they have to find a refuge. And ain't no refuge from summer like a little cool water. So in this story, y'all, we got people, and I looked it up. There is a Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Columbus, Ohio. These people in Columbus have come out and asked the media to cover this story. They are complaining because they can't seem to get no help from the ownership of this apartment complex where people from the other side of town seem to come and congregate and party and have a good time in the community pool. Not the community pool, the community pool. There's a difference. People in the community don't really appreciate it when y'all come from cross town with that takeover spirit and get to splashing around in the pool that they pay rent for. Well, unfortunately, they've appealed to the owner of this property. It doesn't seem like he or she or they are willing to make the proper changes. Seems like they are permitting this to go on, and it's so unfortunate. The woman said these are kids, these are teenagers. But these are teenagers who were raised in an era, in a society, in public schools and politics, where they were told they could be whatever they wanted to be. If they felt like it, they could be it. If you want it, it's yours. You can go in the store. I'm out here on the West Coast. You can go in the store and steal it. Just walk out with it. You won't even be charged. They grew up in a certain era of entitlement that has been detrimental to this country. And I know y'all fixes are in place, things are happening, and we glad about it. But the cleanup might not be so smooth because Some of the fixing involves the mentality of our youth. And here you have people who are willing to travel and say, hey, you got water over there? I want water. I'm going to take your water. I'm going to splash around. Can't swim worth nothing. I'm going to splash around, party around, drink around, smoke around, do all these things. Might even pee in your pool. But if the owner ain't going to stop me and the police say they can't stop me because it's private property, well then, what are you going to do as a rent-paying tenant? I'm going to tell you what you should do. You should move. But if you can't move and you're stuck there with the ne'er-do-wells from the other side of town taking over your community, well, maybe you should go to the news and have them publicize the story. And maybe that owner who is liable for anything that happens at that pool, maybe that owner will take some responsibility for what he's allowing to happen on his property.
New tonight, some neighbors are dealing with a crisis in their apartment community near Grandview Heights. They called 6 on Your Side for help because they say crime is taking over and hundreds of strangers are too. Aaron Simonek joining us live from Runaway Bay Apartments. Aaron, what you are about to show us is shocking, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely, Jessica. Just imagine hundreds of people taking over this apartment complex who don't live here and don't pay rent, partying at the pool, the beach, and even the parking lot. Neighbors who do pay rent say they're concerned for their safety after even hearing gunshots earlier this month. At first glance, the Runaway Bay Apartments seem like a dream, a picturesque landscape nestled on one of these Scioto quarries.
The gate is not locked. It is a free-for-all for whoever wants to come in and out of this place.
But some people who call it home say it's become a living nightmare.
I've had my kayak stolen, my paddleboard stolen, I've had my car broken into, but yet we can't talk to the trespassers.
Carrie Cassidy has been renting here for a long time and says crime is only the start of the problems. There's a dangerous and disturbing trend happening involving pop-up events where hundreds of strangers take over the property, including the pool, the parking lot, and the quarry beachfront. All of this on private property where they don't live or pay rent. The front gate has been broken for months, with people pouring in day and night with no control.
I'm paying $1,400 in rent here. These people come in here and they act like they own the place. We get harassed. We get threatened with guns, with knives. We've had a shooting here just a week ago at our pool.
This surveillance video shows those shots ringing out at the pool earlier this month.
Wow. I was worried about my mom because she was right there. She lives right across from the pool. I was scared to death for her. I was calling her, making sure she was okay.
Renters wanting to stay off camera say there needs to be more security, accountability, and oversight.
Been threatened to have my butt kicked by men, by women. Had women who have literally had their children running around this parking lot unattended.
And take a look at this scene in the parking lot on Tuesday night. Hundreds of random people partying in the parking lot. Why is this allowed? Neighbors say the police, AG's office, and code enforcement claim it's all on the property owners to make things right.
This is you have a legal right to a peaceful environment to live in. And it's the management's responsibility to provide that.
And a handful of residents tonight frustrated over the management's lack of response. I went over to the property group's managers to ask for comment about what they plan to do in regards to this public safety concern. They turned me away with no comment tonight. Cassidy, one of many neighbors who are now looking for a new place to live. Live on your side, Aaron Simonek, Fox 28 News.
And there you have it, y'all. The Runaway Bay Apartments in Columbus, Ohio being overrun by folks from across town who don't live there, don't pay rent there, have no interest in the upkeep of the property. But they found a pool. This is what you call the spot. Yeah, your property has been marked as the spot. The spot to hang out. The spot to swim for free. The spot to hang out on a beachfront situation. Pull a little kayak or a little boat from somebody who's renting there, get it out in the water and have a good old time at someone else's expense. Well, what kind of entitlement is that? Couldn't you hang out in the hood where you from? Couldn't you hang out across town Oh, ain't no pool over there. Ain't no beachfront over there. Definitely ain't no kayaks in the hood. If you want a kayak, you got to go cross town and take one from somebody else. What are we to do with this mentality? I know what I would do. But I can't tell this owner what to do. I can tell him what he should do, though, because he's going to be liable. If someone gets shot on that property, if someone gets hurt on that property, if someone drowns on this property, you know the blackity blacks can't swim. You might think you look cute in that little two-piece, but you can't do a backstroke. You can't do a dog paddle. Let something happen. Let that owner be liable. You will find out that all those black lives that matter gonna matter a little more when it comes to liability than you ever could have imagined. And you say, well, you want me to pay what in a wrongful death case? You want me to pay what in a personal injury case? That person's life wasn't worth that much to me. And they couldn't have earned that much in a lifetime. Well, you'd be surprised, sir, ma'am. Sir, ma'am, you'd be surprised what a jury will allow in a personal injury case or a wrongful death case. Even in these interesting circumstances. If I might say so myself, this is an interesting story where folks will come over to somebody else's neighborhood and just take over. Say, oh, we can't get in the pool. We just go hang out in a parking lot. Turn up out here. I ain't got to describe it for y'all. Y'all know what's going on in that parking lot. All things unholy, ungodly in that parking lot. And people paying good rent money. Now, the woman said, I pay $1,400 a month here. Well, good on you, Mrs. Ma'am. Because out here on the West Coast in California, where we got Governor Newsom, who just raised gas prices today, rent going up, home prices astronomical, highest that they've ever been in this state. $1,400 might get you a park bench. But I understand where you at. It's probably good coin. And even if it was $14, you are entitled to peace and tranquility that $14 would get you. You signed a lease, you signed an agreement. And that owner has some responsibility to take care of y'all in a certain way if they're not doing it. If the city ain't gonna back you up, the police say our hands are tied, then you gotta move, lady. It's your only chance. It's your only choice. It's your only option. Get up out of there. Because your property has been marked and labeled as the spot. And the longer it is the spot, the more nefarious activity will take place there, and it will increase. You done already had some shootings. Seem like you thought you didn't live in the hood, but the hood is coming to you. Has a way of doing that in certain circumstances. Maybe you want to spend a little extra coin to get behind the gate somewhere. Y'all let me know what you think about this. This story is pretty wild because these are teenagers. Like the woman said, where the parents at? Police can't do nothing about that. These are juveniles. Nothing can be done about juveniles trespassing. Okay, Columbus. Let me put that down on my list of cities never to live in. Y'all let me know what you think about this interesting story. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments about people of all colors. This ain't just a blackity black versus whitey white type of situation. No, I've seen all colors at that pool. Y'all rewind the video, watch it back. There's some whitey whites mixed in there that's cutting up at somebody else's pool. It's not fair. It's not right. And somebody is not teaching these kids right from wrong. I'd love to know what you think about it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.